Hi, this is Al Stasek of the Stasek Group of RE/MAX Crossroads. In today's video, I wanted to share 5 valuable tips for anyone who's bought a home in Northeast Ohio and is about to move in. So the reason why we're doing this is that we help hundreds of families every year move into a home, and they always ask, well, I got the keys to my house, Al. Is there anything else that we need to be aware of? Anything that we need to do to the house, prior to, or what are the most important things that we need to do before moving into the house? So we just put this quick five tip list together, and hopefully this helps you. Tip number 1: the first thing that you want to do is rekey the locks, or if you're not going to rekey them, actually just go ahead and have them changed out by a locksmith, and if you're handy, do it yourself. Obviously, the number one reason is there's lots of keys floating around. I mean, even from the time that you list your home with a real estate agent, sometimes multiple keys are made. Sometimes keys are left with neighbors for vacations. Sometimes they're left with multiple family members. And the last thing you want is, 2, 3, 4, or a dozen keys of your front door floating around, and you don't even know who has the key to your front door. So I think one of the most important things, and the first thing that you should do, is change those locks. Second thing you should do is reset the garage door. This is something that a lot of people forget about. They go in, they get the garage door openers and the 2 controls to the left and the right garage door opener, and they forget to not only change the button code on the outside, but they forget to change the signal. Now, why is it important to change the signal? Well, most people have vehicles with the buttons that go on the top of the console, and so virtually, if that was programmed with, again, one of the owner's vehicles or one of the owner's family members, they may have frequented a lot, they could potentially get into your home through the garage door. So the best thing to do is, and again, every garage door opener manufacturer probably has something different, but most of them have a red button for reprogramming. And most of them, if you hold that red button in for 30 seconds, it's going to actually deactivate the signal that was connected to any of the other vehicles, and if they happen to have an extra clicker, that would be then deactivated as well. Third tip: change the air filter in the house. Now, I know that sounds kind of obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. And I don't know about you, I have a cat allergy. Some people, if you're a cat person, that's great. I got nothing against cats, but some people are highly allergic to animals. And I love dogs, I love cats, but you could if you're allergic to any of those animals and the previous owner had them, even if they kept a super clean house, one of the reasons why the house was probably so clean is because they ran their fan and their furnace on a consistent basis, which then draws air through the return, through the filter, and then it comes out cleaner air. So the best thing to do, if it were me, is to change that filter first thing you do when you move in, and actually run that fan. Because what happens is when you move furniture around in a home, dust, dander, air particles are just going to go into the air, and it could affect your breathing. So my tip number 3 is change that air filter. Number 4, get familiar with your sprinkler system. So if you're moving from, let's say, a warmer state like Florida or Texas, where they have sprinkler systems on most homes, you're probably familiar with a sprinkler system. But up in Cleveland, we have 4 seasons. So what you don't have to do down in Florida is actually bleed that system or blow it out on an annual basis to make sure there's no water in the pipes. What can happen if you do leave water in the pipes in Cleveland is when we hit that 4th season that we call Old Man Winter, that could crack your pipes. They're only PVC plastic most of the time, and it's not going to be a huge expense to fix those pipes, but it's just something you can avoid by having them blown out by a professional, or if you're handy and you have an air compressor, to put that hose on the end of it and blow any excess water out. Get familiar with your sprinkler system. I think it's an important thing to do if you buy a home with a sprinkler system. And last but not least, your gutters. Again, if you're coming from a different state where you don't have 4 seasons, Northeast Ohio has 4 great seasons. One of my favorites is fall. It's football season, but with that comes the leaves. And the leaves, depending on how your lot's situated, if you have a treed lot, those leaves can get in your gutters, clog them up, and it can cause major problems such as water coming into the basement, mold, and all kinds of other foundational issues that you can avoid very easily by just having the gutters cleaned out. Now, if you had a home inspection your home inspector probably looked up there and took a peek and let you know if they needed to be cleaned out or not. And if you're real lucky, you may have a gutter protection system such as gutter helmet and whatnot that'll keep a lot of that debris out. But even with those systems, stuff still manages to get in there. And my best suggestion for you is to make sure that they're cleaned out and just give a second look before. So I hope these tips helped you. You can contact us with any further questions at 440-925-1018. Also, feel free to visit our website at www.stasekgroup.com, where we have a ton of different reports for buyers and sellers on various different topics concerning real estate. And of course, if you know of anyone, family or friends, who would benefit from our real estate services, we're never too busy to help them. Thanks for watching today, and make it a great day.